The Fancy Family is 99% brilliant and 1% either terrible or confusing. There might be a gap in my knowledge, which would mean it's actually better than I'm thinking it is. But if there isn't a gap in my knowledge, then it's a terrible way to end it. So I will discuss what happens in this. The whole animation is about a minute, less than a minute, in fact. So there will be spoilers for what happens in this. This is a short film that was released in 2013, and it is from the studio Gobelins, which I am not familiar with, but I'm very keen to find out more of their animation, because if it's anything like this in terms of the style, I'd be curious to watch more, because the style is stunning. It's all about this family getting ready in the morning, going about their day, trying to get started, and each character has a different design or a different style. And we have presumably the mother, who is basically a giant clock. We have the two daughters, I believe, who look like cupcakes because they're very sweet, and I won't give it away by going into all of the characters, but we have different visual representations of their personalities, which I thought was very nice. The animation is very busy. There's a lot going on at any one time, but in a way that's really delightful. It's the kind of animation where I feel like every time I watch it, I'm going to pay attention to something else, a subtle detail or a bit of decor in the house that I hadn't noticed before. The colour palette is one of the most beautiful things that I have ever seen. Every colour is represented here, and it is absolutely beautiful. It is so gorgeous. I think some people might find the animation to be quite sickly sweet, and I love that. I think it works very, very well. It is very loud and very bright and very bold, and I had a lot of fun watching it, and it was really delightful to watch this family trying to get ready in the morning and going about their day, and that was all well and good. And then it ended, and I thought it was absolutely horrendous. But, as I said, it could be a gap in my knowledge, so I will now explain what happens in the last 2 seconds of the animation. At the very end, the teenage son goes outside, and apparently he was chewing gum. He is made of chewing gum, which I didn't pick up on. I did read the comments on YouTube. They have... Goblins have uploaded it to YouTube, and the comments are pretty great. And apparently he is made of chewing gum. And at the very end, a live-action trainer, sneaker, whatever you want to call it, squishes him. Why? It's ridiculous. It's a really stupid way to end it, and I absolutely hated it. But then I thought, and I genuinely thought, hang on, is this an advert for something? Are they advertising a brand of shoe in a very clever way? And considering there's no branding anywhere, you can't even see the brand on the shoe. I have no idea what brand it is. I don't think that that's the case. Had that been the case, if they were actually using this really fun, eye-catching cartoon to advertise the trainer in a very clever way, I actually would have liked that. I think that would have been really effective. But I have no reason to believe that that's actually the case. So if anybody can explain the ending to me, or why they thought it was a good idea, or indeed if it is an advert and there's just no evidence that it is actually an advert, by which I mean I've watched this, I don't know what trainer I would go and buy. I don't know what brand that I would go to, so I'm assuming it's definitely not advertising that footwear, but that's what it felt like. And if it were, that would be brilliant. But as I said, it doesn't seem like that's the case. It just seems like a really ridiculous way to end it. Like they kind of thought, we have this idea of this family getting ready, we don't know how to end it, so let's just make a giant live-action shoe come down and squish the chewing gum teenager. And it's just a little bit ridiculous, and it doesn't work at all, and I absolutely hated it. Unless somebody wants to tell me it's an advert, but again, don't actually have any reason to think that it is. 99% beautiful. The Fancy Family is absolutely gorgeous, stunning animation, visually a real treat. Let's just forget about the last 3 or 4 seconds and enjoy the rest of the cartoon. The ending aside, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I will probably watch it again at some point, and I definitely recommend it.